On Vice President Dr. Bawumia has said that he is opposed to churches paying taxes due to the numerous developments the church has brought to their communities over the years. The Vice President, who was speaking at an encounter with the clergy in Techiman as part of his tour of the Bono East region, said the church needs to be supported with incentives and seen as development partners rather than being taxed. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more.
Vice President Dr. Bawumia began his Bono East tour with a session with members of the clergy at the Techiman Presby Trinity Church, where he disclosed to the Christian fraternity of his intention to contest the 2024 presidential polls on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party.
Because even within the New Patriotic Party, because not in see that where a party say they need a Cramodina Mesobia Sylvie. Now it didn't see that where a party more. Now Yamesi, it is possible. It is possible. And yes, sir, Madame would be now or teasing. Or say, can anything good come out of Wale Wale? They say, if God wills, something good will come out of Wale Wale.
He emphasized that the religious tolerance amongst Ghanaians has contributed immensely to the peaceful atmosphere across the length and breadth of the country.
Ghana, Yamia shrine said yet now Ghana, and yes, our other countries. So only free Ghana, the way who said Ghana may be a shrine. You were tolerance, and anything as we did, and so we also a Ghana.
He again stated that his relationship with the church started long before his decision to venture into politics, with 9 out of his 16 siblings being Christians by faith.
In my own family and beyond, and yet say, and then I'm really Christian for see, getting closer to the church. I've always been close to the church, always. Be close to the church. And yet, and then I said politics. I said, way before politics, that is how I was.
Members of the clergy were given the opportunity to ask the Vice President few questions, and there came this one, who inquired whether government has any intention of taxing the church.
His Excellency Dr. Bawumia said, I'm say, you have to say, I saw it in the tax. Now, you move a little bit, I saw it any young people, because the said, and the press said, I saw it in the tax.
In his swift response, Dr. Bawumia stated emphatically that under his leadership, there's no way government would tax the church due to the contributions of the church in bringing development to their various communities.
My view on this is simple. In fact, that's why I say that if you hear a Techiman, a church area, in fact, we should rather be paying them rather than they paying us. Unless you don't understand the work the church has done. If you're looking at the buildings, the way they try to keep the society together, the church, the universities, the hospitals, the schools, it's massive. It's just massive. So I don't see, and I will not have a situation where we are taxing the churches.
He asked that there is the need for the church to be given incentives by government to enable them to do more to the communities they serve.
We rather want to give churches incentives to support what government is doing. I want us to be partners. In the way that the development partners are with us, you are our domestic development partners, and we will give you incentives to do more in all of that.
Anas Sabit, JoyNews. Techiman.
The NPP flag bearer also visited the Techiman market. We have sights and sounds.
Yes, no, it's another man who is standing. My son is a man in the tower. Nadia Bawumia, Ghana, Hano.
And the money is about Mujoma.
Moving on, anti-corruption campaigners say they are worried about the ever-widening spectrum of politicians owning a significant number of media houses in the country. Speaking on the Joy Change speaker series on Newsfile, head of legal at Action Chapel International, Bishop Dr. Suzanne Inti, quoted 2018 research which revealed that a third of the media houses in Ghana are owned by persons with political affiliations. She explained that cast doubts over the credibility of journalism from such media houses.
With AI, a lot of us think that our work is cut out for us. So what is the lesson here? The media going into the elections should be aware that AI, is making our work a lot.
We do have challenges in the country. Political capture, a lot of political voices in the media. And in 2018, a third of the Ghana media was owned by highly politically engaged persons. And I got this from the information that was given to us in that news file. A third. So which means that we have a skewed, or we have some issues when it comes to transparent, accountable, and integrity in our reporting because of the interests that other people have within the media. So other voices are drowned out. So a lot of the content tends to be dealing with partisan politics, which political colors and voices on those platforms are colored, as it were. So sometimes you find, as a diasporan, as a person living in Ghana, you just turn to other external media stations because you feel that you will get a better coverage, non-biased, unbiased coverage outside the country rather than in your own country. So you tune into other stations rather than our own Ghanaian stations.
You heard the Bishop Dr. Suzanne Inti and media and communication consultant Caroline Anipa warning journalists to be wary of the use of artificial intelligence, especially during this election year. You're still watching JoyNews Prime with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Welcome. A look at the rest of our stories. Ghanaian journalists have been urged to monitor activities of Ghanaian-owned mining firm Betterand Ghana Limited. The firm is venturing into what it describes as safe and sustainable commercial mining. The company is known for its reclamation and restoration of Galamsey lands for government and have succeeded in saving forest belts from destruction. At an engagement with senior editors, the company announced it's expecting mining communities to benefit from its plan to invest in large-scale mining.
This media engagement was to brief journalists on the achievement of Betterand Ghana Limited, a mining firm which has been protecting the environment through ensuing the reclaiming of lands lost to illegal and unsafe mining. Betterand Ghana is a Ghanaian company specializing in land reclamation, restoration, ensuing sustainable mining and mining support services. The firm says they are in the sector to ensure the country's natural resources are protected. The project coordinator, David Thomas, has been speaking to the media.
It's doing two projects. We're trying to help on various lands that have been decimated, reforestation. So that's one part of the company, and the other part of the company is to try and showpiece sustainable mining within the country. I think in this day and age, especially because of the media, if you do not get community relations right, I don't think you've got a sustainable project. So on our current understanding, that has to be top priority. It's their land, they're the custodians of the land. We are a company. It's their heritage and their land. So therefore, if we do not get that right, how do we expect it to go right for us as a company? I mean, that to me is a major thing we've got to get right. And so far, we've been encouraged. We were encouraged in what we did with the reforestation in Ahodo. The community engaged us very well. And what we've started to do over in Jua, things seem to be going well. Every single document to engage in pre-mining activity is completely in place. We would not be calling this, shall we say, press conference if we did not have that in order. That would not be prudent or beneficial to us. So every single documentation within the legal framework is in place to start pre-mining activities.
The project manager and geologist of Betterand Ghana, Caleb Nsafo, added that the firm planned to do large-scale mining, which will be done under strict adherence to best practices. Hence, the call to get the media do monitoring of the activities.
Upper West Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu has attributed the increasing poverty in northern Ghana to what he calls the low percentage of educated people in the northern enclave. He is, however, optimistic that with the implementation of the education policy in the country, that development gap will be closed. Stephen Yakubu made the statement when he called on the paramount chief of the Gulu traditional area, Na Seydou Barma, at his palace at Guli. Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
Upper West Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu first started his day at Jingpang in the one municipality where he broke the grounds for work to begin on the drilling of a borehole for the community. The borehole project is part of 110 earmark to be drilled across 11 municipal and districts in the Upper West region with funding from the District Assembly's Common Fund. Each of the 11 municipal or districts in the region will have 10 of the boreholes drilled in their communities.
Some of the 110 boreholes that we are doing, some are going to be mechanized depending on the area where we are drilling. So some are going to be hand pumps, some are going to be mechanized. As I said, depending on the area that we are doing. If we are doing a place where we think that they've got electricity and the people want mechanized, then we do mechanize for them. It is actually demand driven. And that is the beauty of this government. We are touching lives. We are giving life to people. And this is just one of the things that Nanado government is doing before elections.
The cost of the drilling and mechanizing of the 110 boreholes were not disclosed, but the duration for the contract is 3 months. Maxwell Ingamaya is an official of Rev Corner, the company that has won the bid to execute the project.
It's a 3-month project, and by the grace of God and the resources that our directors have put at our disposal, we are 100% sure that we are going to finish this job.
Next point of call of the Upper West Regional Minister was Gole, where he paid courtesy call on the paramount chief of the area, Na Seydou Barma, to interact with him and also to seek his support for successful reign. Goluna said Brima laid bare some of the challenges that the traditional area is grappling with, which included inadequate education learning materials.
That's it for JoyNews Prime with me, Emma Davis. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening.